And today we are streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn Live. And for 4 days, you will be joining us either live on these platforms or inside the Zoom. So I basically want everyone to be on Zoom because it's much better to ask your questions, to unmute yourself if you want to join. For the 4th day, we will be doing questions and answers, or also to be receiving the workbooks, because additionally to this intensive training, and every day you will be receiving a different workbook with exercises and questions that will help you a lot through this 4-day intensive training. So again, welcome everyone. Let's start. So what are we here for 4 days? What will be we will be doing? For day 1, we will start by defining a clear goal. So either you have already set up a goal and you're working towards achieving it, or you want to set up a goal and not sure if that is the right goal for you now. You will be learning a lot about everything you need to know on how to actually set up a clear goal and what to do with that afterwards. So we will be giving you the recipe of setting up and achieving goals. And goals can be really about everything. It could be your professional goal, your career goal, your business goal, your financial or professional goal. So stay tuned for day 1. This is what we are going to discuss. For day 2, we will be discussing your mental faculties and all the magic in your marvelous mind, and also how to use your mind as a tool to achieve all kinds of goals and all kinds of manifestations that you want happening in your life. Day 3, we will be learning about the power of 5. What are these 5 things that we're going to talk about? Stay tuned in day 3. And day 4 will be especially for you to ask any question that comes to your mind. So whatever question you might have, please do not hesitate to put them in the comments if you're joining us live on the different platforms that I just mentioned, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Or if you are inside Zoom, welcome again. Do not hesitate to ask any questions that you may have. We will be answering your questions as we go, and we will be also allocating day 4 exclusively to all your questions. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions that you may have, either today or in the following days. And if you want to really have the time and unmute yourself and participate into these Q&A, please join in day 4. So without further ado, let's start. I'll hand the mic to my colleague,
Thank you.
Ahmed.
Thank you, Nina, for this amazing introduction. And welcome, everyone. Today, we have an amazing topic that we'll start with, which is the main question that everyone should stop and ask himself or herself. Asking yourself those impact or empowering questions will give you really empowering answers. So if you could ask yourself, what do you really want? What do you really want more than anything else? What experience would you like to live? What changes you want to change in your life? What you want to apply on your life? What goals is the most important for you in life? Whether it's a business, whether it's a shifting your career, whether it's a financial goal, whatever it is, you have to start with this point. What do you really want? So let go of what happened in the past. Whatever you've done, let's say from the beginning of 24, you still have 4 months till the end of 24. So let's make this shift in your life. And don't think of the things that hold you back, because today we'll be listing all the things that hold you back, and we will burn at the end of the day. So from this point, you should start listing like a shopping list. What do you really want? And the most important thing, how you want to live, what person you want to become to achieve that freedom that you're looking for. What are you capable of? So let's start with the second point. Once we started knowing at least what do we really want, we have to set a goal. And if you need a shift for the second slide, because I don't have the control. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate that. Um, Once you start, okay, I really know what I want. Okay, you start writing, let's say, 10 goals. Now we have to go deeper because in absence of a clear defined goals, we become strongly loyal to performing daily travel until we become ultimately we become enslaved by it. So without the purpose or a vision and a goal, you will be lost. If you don't have a clear goal, a written goal, or just listening to your goal daily and just writing it daily, you'll be lost. You're not focused to your goal. You're not committed to your goal. So ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Or where are you afraid to go? Just shifting, changing in your life. Because sometimes you're afraid of your goal. You want to achieve something, but you're afraid to step out from your comfort zone. But keep in your mind that God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear. And you have to be either in the other, one of the two campaigns, either a watcher and watch things happening in front of you, successful people, and being like a victim, or you could be a player, make things happen, and you'd be leader. So success comes down to three things. Because Earl Nightingale defined success as, he said that its success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal goal. That idea that you fell in love with it. So the first step for success is the ability to lead yourself, to control yourself. Second one is the ability to sell yourself. The third one is the ability to develop yourself. And this free webinar, it would be a great opportunity. And lots of people make a dramatic change in their life because of those free webinars, is the ability to develop yourself. So if we go next and ask ourselves, what do we really want the most from this life? Most of us want happiness, health, and wealth. So those are the three main things that we are looking for. But those are results of what we are doing. And those are your stories of what you've been doing. So if you observe your life and look to your results, your current results, it's telling you a story. The story that the things that you have been doing in the past. And all that depends on you, on your lifestyle. It's about how you want to live. So what services, if you ask yourself, do you give to your community? Because it depends on that, what value you are giving. And another thing, what about your contributions with the community? Or even in your business? Or even in your career? So ask also yourself how you're spending your day and how you're spending your time. Is it doing your goal? Is it aligned with your goal, or doing something distracted with lots of things, doing many things without focusing? So if your actions and decisions and life depends on that, on how you perceive yourself. So all of those actions and decisions, it depends on how you perceive yourself and on your self-image. So ask yourself, what is your belief system towards that? What is your belief system towards yourself and towards your belief? If your old beliefs, you think that they're not getting you the results, so you have to make an upgrade for it and a shift for it. And it's so easy. No one can do it for you, but you can do it for yourself. So if you go next and talk about money, because most of us, they think it's all about money. I want to start my own business, but I don't have money. I want to just looking for something greater, but the main thing is they're asking for money. But in fact, no one wants money. This would be a shocking thing. And you'd ask me why. If you ask yourself first, what is your relationship with money? Do you use it wisely? Do you love money? Do you use it constructively? So those questions, do you circulate money? So you have to specify your relationship with money. And once you do that, all the good things will start to come to you, because money is a result. It's a symptom, and the cause is the value that you are giving. And we'll explain that in detail, but this would be a great opportunity to explain something, which is the law of compensation. Law of compensation states three things. It's the amount of money that you're earning is always an exact ratio of three things: the need of what you're doing, two, the ability to do it, and three is the difficulty of there to replacing you. So those three things, the first one is the need for what you do, it's not in your hand. The third one is also not in your hand. The only thing you could do is now to master whatever you're doing. Just become a master of whatever you're doing. But how can I do that? It all starts with your identity, because your income now will reflect your identity. So what do you really want? If you go next, is to have this wealthy life, let's say, three things: financial freedom, and everyone wants to wake up just motivated, inspired for going for the day. And three, with the most important thing, is having a successful relationships, which is the proximity around you. So we want those results from this life. If we come to the first one, financial freedom means everyone have a different definition for his financial freedom, but it's at the end comes to the free to choose. You're free to choose whatever you want. You want to travel, you want to buy anything. So you're not saying that, oh, I don't have that amount to do that thing. That's the freedom. The second one is having those goals, inspiring goals, motivated goals, just waking up daily and inspired to do the things that you're making, giving you juice and energy and power to move forward. And the third one is to network and connect and just enjoy with creative, successful, productive, supportive people around you. The people who see greatness in you and you see greatness in them. So that's what we are looking for. And if we go deeper in the talking about the freedom, in fact, there's two things. It's time and money. And here I will tell you something. Just think about it. You will be surprised to how much time you have when you don't have to worry about money. Just imagine and think about that word, that code. In fact, we want freedom. And as we said, it's the free to choose whatever we really want. So what I want from you today, we noticed the definition that we should be falling in love with freedom. And I enjoy teaching it because it's one of the main things that will get you the free to choose whatever you want in life and enjoyment and get you a fulfilling life. So the first step to get to that point is you have to be all in with your goal. You cannot be half in, half out. And second thing, you have to stop playing it safe. Most of us, they want freedom in their comfort zone, which is impossible. So you get to have big goals and move, because big things are ahead. You have to move forward. And don't judge what happened in the past. Tell me, oh, I tried this before, it didn't work. Because everything that happened in the past happened that it was essential for your life, absolutely essential, to prepare you for the person or who you will be in the future, or you're going to be. So just think of the experience that have passed and do not let it judge your future. So today, we'll introduce the two main concepts: the concept of the mind and the money. And as you know, the mind, it differentiates us from other creatures. That's why we are special. We have to think about that advantage. Mind was not given to us from God, thanks God, just for nothing. It's our free to choose. And the second thing, which is money. I don't want you to concentrate on money now, knowing that it's the most accurate tool for calculating your results. But now, today, we'll be concentrating on the mind, because the money, it's the result of your mind. It's the result of the way of thinking. We invented the money, but unfortunately, no one teaches us how to earn money. Your bank account represents literally you. How much you're earning is just wherever your mind set to. So keep in your mind that we control money. So today, and it's all about level of awareness, but you have to keep in your mind, most people think that they want more money than they really do, and they settle a lot less than that. That's what Ern said. So we have to create our own economy. We have to define our own economy. But you cannot do that with your own model. You have a model now. It's telling your story, what happened in the past. So we have to make a shift to create a new model. But you have to have the courage and bet on yourself to step out of your comfort zone and keep in your mind that success, it's not a straight line. It's like a roller coaster. It's coming up and down, but you have to learn from those opportunities. So if you get down to success, I love that slide. It's 5% strategy and 95% mindset. What does that mean? Every entrepreneur now in this webinar or watching us have his own strategy, maybe an investment, maybe he's a business owner, or even he's an employee. So it's his own strategy. But the main thing for success is your mindset. And there is a certain way for thinking. All successful individuals think in that way. So it depends on your way of thinking. That way, it's not a secret. It's just being thinking in harmony with the laws. I call them God's laws and the laws of the mind. So now Nina will introduce to us how things going on in the mind.
Thank you, Ahmed.
You're most welcome.
Second, all right. So yeah, now that we understood that success is actually 95% mindset, and as obvious as it may seem, your mindset is the major road blocker or the major trigger for success or failure. Whether we admit it to ourselves or not, it is what it is. Our results are definitely, without any doubt, and actually scientifically proven, that are really controlled about with our mindset. So let's dig deeper into that. The roadmap to success. What does that mean? Success can be put into an equation. And I remember the first time I heard this, I was like, wow, okay, for the first time, things are going to make sense. I needed everything to make sense because like a couple of years ago, I was still passionate about personal development and all these kinds of webinars and seminars and everything. I would go to a webinar and I would listen to this motivational speaker or this preacher or coach or whomever is there to listen to. And I would go back home like feeling super motivated, and yeah, I can do this. He said that I can do this and I can manifest the life of my dreams. But eventually, the next day, I had no idea how to do it because nobody has told me the recipe. Nobody has shared exactly what I needed to do. Motivation is not enough. It's never enough. If motivation was enough, every single New Year's resolution
Yes.
would still be working. We would still be sticking to it. Everyone would still be going to the gym because we have signed up to a gym maybe a few years ago, and we still didn't really use our subscription. What I'm trying to say is that motivation is never enough. It can be like the initial spark, the initial trigger for you to get going and make the decision, but eventually it will fade out. So you need a roadmap to success. You need something to follow. You need a recipe, and you need a step-by-step process. I love processes, and I know, Ahmed, you do, because we worked a lot in management, and we know that order is the very first thing that we need to bring into anything, into really any environment. And before that, in our minds, we need to bring order and we need to bring clarity. So in this slide, I'm going to explain exactly how to do that. The roadmap to success, or what I love to call it, the success equation. So you need basically two ingredients: where you are and where you're going. You need to know where you are right now, and you need to know what your goal is. And as simple and as obvious as it seems, it may even seem silly because on a conscious level, you would tell me, okay, but Nina, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly where I am, and still I cannot figure out how to do it. Okay, let's ask the question in a different way. Where you are right now, your results right now, your financial statement, your current career position, your current business level, your current income, your current relationship status, your current fitness level, whatever it is that your results are defined right now. First of all, you need to admit to yourself that this is just the projection of what your mind was like maybe a couple of months ago, or what your previous decisions have made you end up in this result right now. So what I'm trying to say here, and listen closely to that because this is really important. You may really want to take notes here. You need to look at your results in such a neutral way that you just look at the result and say, okay, I don't want that. I want something else. And then after that, immediately start focusing on what you want. Never, never, never stay emotionally involved with your current result. Your current result is only a projection of what your mind was like a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago, or when you took or you made your last decision. So don't blame yourself. Don't blame the environment. Don't blame the economy. Ahmed just said that we can literally create your own economy. Just look at the result in a way to bring awareness to yourself that this is not what you want, and that's it. Do not discuss why did that happen. Do not discuss it keeps happening to me, why the economy, whatever. That's okay. Think of the result only in a way to define your goal, to say, this is where I am, this is what I want to be. Now let's go to number two, where you are going. You need to define a very clear goal. So earlier, when we were talking about money, you need to define your financial goal. If your goal is financial, which is a great thing because we can actually quantify a goal that is financial, you need to define very clearly. If you say to the universe, to God, to your boss, I want more money, $1 more, €1 more is more money. You can find a penny tomorrow on the street, and that's the universe's way of saying, please be specific. More money is never a clear goal. You need to define a financial goal that is very specific. You want $1 million? Just write down, I want $1 million. When? I want it by the end of the year. Okay, that's very specific. The more specific you are, the more you can know how to do it. Because if you just want more money and your mind is lacking clarity, remember, we say that clarity and order is the very first ingredient to success. If you're lacking clarity, you will never be able to get the ideas, to get the thoughts, to get the energy, to get the motivation to go and get that goal. If you just want more money and tomorrow you get a promotion and your boss is offering you 10% more, you will feel that euphoria, that motivation going on and say, okay, this is more money. Thank God, I'm now satisfied. But be aware that this is not your goal. If you are really honest with yourself and if you admit to yourself what you really want, which is not an obvious thing to do. I remember, I'll share a little bit about my personal story here. I remember the very first time I heard Bob Proctor, who is our both our mentors, both Ahmed's and mine. Bob Proctor once said that I needed to write a want list. And I advise you, everyone, to do this today. You need to write a want list. And I remember the very first time I did that exercise, it was not obvious at all for me to define what I wanted because I did not dare ask the question. And when I dared ask the question, my response to my own question, to my own writing was that I would like just a little bit more, or I would like just that. But if it doesn't happen, I'll be very happy with that as well. And if that doesn't happen, then thank God I'm grateful for everything, and that's okay. This is not a good mindset for growth. Contentment and just being satisfied with what you have right now just keeps your mindset where it is. And we want growth. We want to set up a goal that is ambitious enough, that is scary enough for you to get going and to get motivated. And then we need clarity for the roadmap to be really clear and defined. So the roadmap to success is two things that may seem obvious. You need to know where you are right now without getting emotionally involved. Just look at your results and decide, this is not what I want. This is not what I deserve. I want more, I deserve more, and I can do more. Now define what you want and dare to ask the question. And after daring to ask the question, dare to ask it again and again, because it will be like a stretching exercise. You're literally stretching your mind to think bigger, to dare to ask for more. And after you clearly defined your goal, unless and until you define your goal very specifically, you will not get the ideas, you will not get the opportunity, you will not get the awareness around you to look around and find opportunity and find a way to achieve that goal. So this is why these are the two ingredients for the equation of success. And next, what we're going to do next is do what we call a paradigm shift. You may have heard me or Ahmed talk about paradigm shifts over and over and over again. So let's see what a paradigm shift actually means. If this is the first time you're hearing this concept or this term, I'll explain it. Very simply, a paradigm is like a software program that is running your subconscious mind, but also running all of your results, your attitude, your daily actions, the fact that you think you can or cannot do certain things, your level of comfort into doing your daily different tasks, your level of confidence, your self-image, and as a result, your financial results, your relationship status, your level of health and fitness even. Like, for example, it can control things like you getting sick. Like every now and then you get sick for no reason. This is your paradigm telling you that something is wrong, and your body basically is expressing itself through that. It can also control the fact that we're still talking about health. For example, I love this example. If you're going on a diet and after a few weeks or a few months or a few pounds that you lose, you end up like doing again and again your bad habits or whatever that you think is preventing you from losing weight. If you sign up to the gym and end up not going, if you want that promotion and start working really hard in your job, and just after a few months, just after the interview, you end up doing something to mess it up, that is your paradigm trying to keep you where you are. So basically, the paradigm is a software program that has been built over years and years and years of genetic conditioning, social conditioning, environmental conditioning, and habits. And over the years, you have built this like very complex structure, and it is subconscious. This is the most important thing to know about the paradigm. It is subconscious. That means it's not clear that this is the paradigm. It's not clear that this is what's blocking you, but um, I'll I'll give you an advice or a tip to know exactly what a paradigm is and to be able to detect it. Like whenever you're starting something and for some reason you end up messing things up for no logical reason, that's your paradigm trying to keep you where you are. If you think that everything is working against you, that's basically your paradigm just trying to keep you subconsciously, very discreetly where you are. So be aware of these things. Be aware of patterns of behavior and know that a paradigm shift can happen. You can basically update this software and change the way you think you're doing things. Basically changing your habits, changing your attitudes, and changing your actions, and trying to really stretch outside your comfort zone, outside your conditioning. That's the only way of shifting your paradigm. But why do we actually want to shift your paradigm? We talked in the previous slide about where you are right now and where you're going. We know where we're going right now. We have decided that, okay, this is the goal. I'm going to dare ask the question, and then I dared to set up a big goal that is scary. Now, what we're going to do with the paradigm is there to keep you where you are. So we have to look back on what we have been doing so far and try to start doing things differently, one habit at a time, one paradigm shift at a time. The paradigm is such a complex structure and it is subconscious. And there are just two ways of changing paradigm. We will discuss this later, but it is like very, very, very important to know that a paradigm shift can happen and it is very simple. I'm not saying it is easy, but it is simple and it can happen. And I think Ahmed and myself are two living proofs that paradigms can change and the results will be immensely, hugely different if the paradigm change. Because if you change things without actually doing the inner work and changing the paradigm, the results will change, but only on the surface. You will get maybe a 15% increase in your annual income. You will maybe lose a couple of pounds. If you want to lose 10, you maybe lose 3. You may be able to settle up your relationship and work things out just for a couple of months. But if the paradigm does not change on a lower level, on a subconscious level, it's never going to stick. The results will not stick. You will go like reach maybe a peak in your results, but eventually things will go back to where they are because this is the job of the paradigm, to keep you where you are. Now, I always say that the intention of the paradigm is good. It wants your survival. Your brain, your mind is wired to keep you where you are because what you don't know is dangerous, is alien, is unknown, and that's scary. We don't want that. But we know better on a conscious level. So we use our logic. We say, okay, on a subconscious level, maybe my paradigm wants to keep me in this job, in this level of business, in this toxic relationship, in this body that I'm not satisfied with, but I know better on a conscious mind. I know better and I know where I want to go. And then I'm going to do the job, I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to shift my paradigm. So that's still me. Yeah. Okay. So, as I was saying, paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. Believe it or not, the way that you deal with your problems on a daily basis, the way you prefer certain things over others, the way you feel comfortable doing certain things and not other things, your level of confidence, your self image. Self-image is a major component of the paradigm. It is the major thing that controls all of your behavior, and as a result, your results, everything is habitual. So this is actually good news because if everything is habitual, we can change things one habit at a time. And we know that changing habits is really easy. We have to start small and we have to keep incrementing just 1% every day. And you will see that through repetition and through consistency and persistence, things change. We have what we call plasticity of the brain. Our neurotransmitters, our neurons can literally build up and change and rewire, and we can really set up new habits that will make the old habits obsolete. And we can make this mental program that is the paradigm obsolete, and we can start doing things differently. And unless and until you start doing things differently, nothing is going to change. I'll hand it over to you, Ahmed.
Nina, you said lots of amazing things, especially about the paradigm. It's so now we notice the key. The key is in the mind. It's all about the mind because our results, it's not about anything else. You want a better business, you want to start your own business, or you want to shift your career. It's all about your mindset. It's about your way of thinking. So mind is the greatest power in all of creations. So in we are getting what differentiate us is we went to the root cause of the problem of our getting our results. We're not treating the symptoms. We're getting to the root cause and we start with the paradigm. So understanding this concept is the key to freedom because you start noticing that what's going on. Okay, it's because of I want to achieve something, but I couldn't. It's all because of my paradigm. And I want to say something that not all paradigms are bad. Some of them, they are good. Like waking up, washing my face, doing something beneficial, my morning routine, it's a good paradigm. But there are bad paradigms that I don't make decisions on the spot. I don't I don't take action right away. So it's all about your marvelous mind, how you're using your mind. And when you stop disciplining your thinking, because it's a way of thinking, it impacts everything in your life. It will impact your results, it will impact your action, it will impact your just your philosophy and your identity, as Nina said. It's all about your self-image. So the mind, understanding the mind is the key, and working in harmony with the laws governing the mind is essential to live that wealthy life. It's not about money. It's not about relationships. It's not about work or the company that I'm in it. So you must to start creating a shift in your way of thinking. Begin thinking in a different way. And here Earl said something that 2% of the people think, 3% of them, they think that they are thinking, and 95% they would rather die than thinking. So from this moment, you must start taking this commitment, start thinking in a different way, thinking in a certain way. And believe me, we are the best to teach that through our powerful programs, thinking into results, because it's all about the science and psychology, science through the laws of the universe, which is God's laws, and the laws of the mind and the psychology. We went to the root cause of the problem. We didn't went to the symptoms like your sales earning or your income or your health report or whatever your results. We went to the root cause, which is today, it's all about the mind. It's all about way of thinking. And to get your thinking in harmony with God's laws and the mind, we empower that and guide you to reach the most elusive personal and professional goals. Whatever your goal it is, if you are willing to do it, you'll do it. It's about a way of thinking. And here if you move, Nina, please, for the next slide, it's an invisible side of success, which is after that. Yeah, the second slide. Yeah. So if we start from that point, this is what we really want to achieve, okay? But it's invisible. We don't see our goal for now. Whatever your goal, it's a financial or a relationship or a health goal, it's invisible for us. We don't see it. And the mind, also, we don't have an image of our mind. So we have our current results, we can see it physically, and we have our goal or our dream, which is invisible. So we have that gap, and that's why we are lost. So you want to achieve something that's invisible, but only you're letting the visible things, the physical current results, judging everything and letting you think that this is everything you can do. So it's all about the way of thinking, and it's all about the mind. And here we have the main thing. From the beginning of our webinar, we start talking about the mind and mindset, mind and mindset. But we don't have an image of the mind, and we think in images. So as soon as we don't have an image for the mind, it's not clear. So we want to change. How can we change something that we don't have an image for that? So to achieve that invisible thing, it's all about mind game. Once you start understanding the mind, game over. You find a way, and it's not a secret. So today, we will be introducing to you the mind and where is the paradigm in the mind and how to dig inside and find and make that shift in our paradigm and to get the result that they really want, because most of us, they are stuck, they are not satisfied from the results, but they don't know why, and that's why they're asking, and they are just limited and they're in limitation with their results. Let's look at the mind. Dr. Thurman, Dr. Thurman Fleet, he said in 1934 that we need an image for the mind because no one have been imagined the mind. Okay, we want to change our mind, our mindset, but we don't have any clear image for the mind. And this is the most valuable idea my mentor have learned, Bob Proctor. So if we think of the mind, he created just two circles. The big circle, it's the mind. I want you to just keep looking at that picture and imagine it that this is the mind. And the small circle, it's the body. The body is the instrument that's controlled by the mind. Just think of it. This is the mind, and down, it's the body. It's not like that. Just I want you to think in images because we never think in something other than it should be an image. In that mind, there's lots of parts, but for the reason of this lesson, we have to think of two parts only. The upper part, which is the conscious mind, and the lower part with the subconscious mind. So we have the mind, upper part, its upper side is the conscious mind, down it's the subconscious, and we have the body. I want you to imagine that and keep that image in your mind. And just keep in your mind also, we are connected with the physical world around us or the universe around us through the conscious mind, through the five senses, which is we see, we hear, we smell, we taste, and touch. So those five senses, it's like highway of information throwing to our conscious mind. And now my partner, Nina, will elaborate more about this picture and how we could utilize it and understand it more to change our results.
Thank you so much, Ahmed.
Thank you.
So yeah, the marvelous mind. Oh my God, I love this drawing, and it is also for me one of the most valuable ideas, if not the most valuable idea I've ever learned, because now I can have a clear picture of my mind. And before that, I thought of my mind as many of us would do as my brain. And we always kind of talk about the mind and the brain at the same time as if they were the same thing. But our mind is much larger than our brain. Our brain is just a part of our body. And if we can look again at this very simple yet very powerful drawing, we can see that the body is just a teeny tiny portion of the equation. The mind is much larger than the body, and we still live in a body, but we are not our body. We are much more than that. So let's think about like what the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are doing, and how do we use this equation in our everyday success. So if I can put everything here just to make it clear. Okay. The conscious mind is the thinking mind, is the educated mind. It is our intellect. It's where we process information, it's where we process our memories, and it's also where we learn and assimilate information. So this is what the conscious mind is doing. This is also the part of our mind that permit us to communicate, to behave, to act, and to make decisions. This is all conscious activity. But this is not thinking. Thinking is much more than that. So mental or conscious activity is a part of the thinking equation. The thinking is also based on what is in our emotional mind. That is the second half of the drawing. The subconscious mind controls our emotional mind, controls our paradigm, and controls all of our conditioning, our habitual behavior. And it also controls the major, like the biggest part of the equation. We think we have a choice on a daily basis to do whatever we end up doing at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, what we end up doing is majorly subconscious. It's dictated by our conditioning, by our paradigm, and we're not even aware of that. We think we have a choice, but this choice is based and built over years of conditioning, years of programming. Because at the end of the day, our mind needs to be as effective as possible. So it needs to reduce the amount of thinking. So it's based on years and years, and even like thousands of years of evolutionary behavior that we need to make make use to make things or make decisions faster and quicker and survive in this wilderness that is life. So again, this is not the case anymore. We have evolved as a species, but our mind still does not think that way. So this is why most of our behavior and if I can go back to what Ahmed was saying earlier, 95% of our success or failure is mindset. Why is that? Because 95% of our choices, of our daily decisions are subconscious. So we better understand more about the subconscious mind, and we better know how to use the subconscious mind most effectively and most usefully and consciously as possible. So let's see what happens, or let's see the different superpowers that each part of our minds have. So first of all, our conscious mind can choose. We can consciously make decisions. We can accept or reject ideas, and we can also originate new ideas. These are the superpowers of the conscious mind. What does it mean I can accept or reject ideas? This was basically also one of the best thing I have ever learned, because before that I was accepting everything that was surrounding me. People talking around me about, I don't know, complaining about politics, complaining about economic status, complaining about life in general. Um, you know what society is like. You get with your friends or with your colleagues and everybody's complaining about life, and everybody finds it fun to actually make fun of how life is miserable, and everybody's kind of competing of how miserable they are. You can actually accept to be in this environment or reject the ideas if someone is really trying to like uh, get you absorbed by their negativity. You can say, okay, I'm going to reject this idea. This is interesting, but thank you. I'm not going to engage with you. I'm going to accept something else that is more useful. I'm going to read a book or listen to a podcast or watch a useful video on YouTube, learn something new, expose myself to new ideas, maybe change environment. If your family or your colleagues or your environment, your society is quite negative, as Bob Proctor used to say, and I love this saying, don't come that often and don't stay that long. Just enough time to say hello and then just reject these ideas and go and change environment. For example, if you are surrounded by millionaires, if you are surrounded by CEOs, by successful people, by spiritual people, very positive, very like healthy and fit people, you will end up being like them. This is like proven by society, by science, by whatever you want. You can test it right now. Go and change environment, and at the end of probably the month, you will have a new opportunity for business. You will have a new partnership. You will have maybe a new relationship. You will start doing new things. You can pick up new habits, change environments, change your surrounding ideas, because at the end of the day, remember these antennas that we showed you in the previous drawing? You will end up picking up whatever energy is around you. And you have the choice. Your conscious mind can choose to accept or reject ideas, can choose to actually move your body somewhere else where new ideas would originate, and where you're surrounded with more opportunities for success, more good thoughts, more support. Maybe, you never know. Just change environment, or at least do not stay engaged with something that will hold you back, and with the same kind of environment that was always holding you back and keeping you where you are. Your subconscious mind now, the second part, cannot reject. It must accept whatever you impress on it. If you're impressing all kinds of negative ideas that the economy is going bad, that you're going to lose your job, that if you start a business, okay, 95% of the businesses fail. Okay, if you accept this idea, how do you think you're going to act any different? You will just accept these ideas and you will act on that. So your subconscious mind, not only it cannot reject, it can only accept, but it's also what triggers, and the only thing that triggers your body into action. So you better be careful what kind of ideas you're really impressing on the subconscious mind. We are surrounded by all kinds of ideas and instructions all day long. So you have to filter what kinds of ideas you are subjecting your subconscious mind to, because it will not ask for your permission. Should I record and accept that or not? It will only record and accept that. And eventually, if the idea is repetitive enough, if it's constant um, projection of these ideas around you, it will end up moving your body into action depending on that. It will accept the ideas and it will move your body into action. And eventually, it cannot determine the difference between what is real and what is imagined. This is a dangerous thing, but it can also be a very, very powerful tool to use to manifest every single one of your dreams. If your subconscious mind cannot reject, it cannot determine the difference between what is real and what is imagined. And if it can move your body, and it's the only thing that will move your body into action, you better impress on it all the good images of your dream. You better think of your dream, of your goal, of new opportunities, of new ideas all the time, so that your subconscious mind will not find room for negativity, for complaining, for negative people, for lack and limitation, and forever paradigm conditioning that you've been subjected to all your life. So start thinking of new ideas and start focusing on your goal over and over and over again. Repetition is key. Eventually, your subconscious mind will start accepting these things as a reality. And once it starts to accept as reality, you will start acting on it.
Amazing.
All right. Back to you, Ahmed, I think.
Yeah, I will just elaborate more on this.
Sure.
If you could move next, I will tell the audience that okay, we noticed that the mind, the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind. Now we have a goal. We set a goal. Setting a goal, usually it's on the conscious level. It's a want. What do you really want? And that want, through this flow of energy that's coming through and to us, flow of thoughts, is coming to the conscious mind. If we choose that goal, okay, we want to do that, we decided for it, okay, and it will be motivational at the beginning. Sometimes you're motivated to do something, but you forget it because you didn't allow it and you didn't repeat it enough to be in the subconscious mind, to transfer this want, to impress it in the subconscious mind, and to become a desire through the habits, changing your habits and becoming, having this new vibrations in your body. Otherwise, nothing will change. So the results of the past actions, let's say, were the paradigms were controlling you back, were controlling your knowledge, your logic. So don't let what happened in the past to affect that. Now you have a clear goal. It's a want. You set the goal, and you have to keep repeating it until you impress it to be as a desire. And instead of being in the ignorance, I want you start understanding. You have the knowledge now, you know the why, you know what's going on with you. So if you're unable to shape your future, if you to be able to shape your future, could you repeat? Yeah, this is the most important. Yeah, to be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. So the paradigm is controlling your logic, it's controlling your results, it's controlling everything. And you need to have a new model of your future self. So if you think in future how you would like to be, you have to write it down and have those new requirements to have this winning process. First, you started with an authentic want, and then irrevocable commitment. You have to be committed, because if I do it, you can do it. It's only about you being willing to do it. And then you need to have the courage to do it and the confidence. And through discipline and consistency, you start doing it, making the actions, and the result will manifest 100%. So for you, I don't want you to say just one day I will do that. I want to be every day for you, it's day one, and start doing it right away. And here's another thing is Yeah, we wrap up just in a few minutes is talking about the cybernetics and the program bit paradigm, because it's all the same concept. So it's like an autopilot. It's like a thermostat. If that's the self-image that we have inside of us, and it's a reflection of our results. So we have to have a new identity towards selling, towards communication, towards discipline, towards your action, acting to new ideas. You have to have new identities toward all those. Who the person you want to become to achieve the goal that you really want to achieve. And you can recreate that. You can do that. It's a good thing. It's you can do this thing. I cannot do it for you. You can change your self-image by yourself. And once you change it, the results will make a shift directly, because it's a reflection of your results. So it's not who you are that holds you back, it's who you think you're not. So if we could give just a short up to make a summary here, if I would love to share like 7 identity figures, 7 figures identity, this will be a gift for you, as the attitude toward yourself, the definiteness of goal, having a clear goal, impression of increase, living with every person you meet with this impression and having this energy, the focus, and the relationship with money. You have to change your relationship with money and have a good relationship with money, and acting on the ideas right away. Sense of urgency, just do it now, and facing the insecurities. This self-talk is so important, essential, this self-image to have. And then we have the self-confidence. And as you said, self-confidence is the first requisite to great undertakings. And it would be a gift, Nina, if we'd share with the audience the 5 steps, self-confidence formula, and they could apply it daily. So it's all your results now, and it's telling you a truth. It's telling you your story. And you have to know that if you 10x your confidence, you'll 10x your results by default. So it's not a matter of how much hard you're working or how many long hours or changing the job. It's about your mindset. It's about your program. It's about your paradigm. And as soon as the paradigm is in control, nothing will change. Programs or this paradigm can blind your views, and just you'll be, you have a limited perspective of everything. So now we know the starting point where to change, and we have the ability to start changing it. And I would love to share the way how to change it. So we cannot fight it. We cannot. We have to create a new model that will make the old model obsolete. It's useless. And like I would like to give a small example is the iPhone. iPhone came with, Steve Jobs came with a new model. He made the Nokia, other companies obsolete. So you start to have that goal and never think of fighting your current paradigms. Start having habit, install habit by habit. Every 60 days, you could have new habit towards your goal. So what is the number one habit? Ask yourself to start impressing it, start doing it daily, and develop persistence and perseverance to do it. Don't overthink, don't judge yourself. And I will start to close here. Through the 150 years of studying and experience in the human potential and success, my mentor found out that there is only 2 ways to change our paradigms. The first way is the constant spaced repetition, which is repetition, as Nina said, is the mother of all learning. And you must fall in repetition. You must fall in love with repetition. Because some people, they told me, oh, we've heard this before, but we didn't find any results. Because they are not repeating enough. They are not raising their conscious awareness to understand what they are reading and what they are listening and what they are doing. So, and the second one is emotional impact, and usually it's negative. So we have only the first way. You have to fall in love with repetition, stick with one study, and just do it for the next year, for the next decade. Not stopping and starting, stopping, stopping. Constantly upgrade your processes and stick to your goal. Just be flexible with your process. Just upgrade it. It's okay. Start where successful people left over. And I think we're the best to tell you how to do that. And I think this is for today's session. If you could share, Nina, the exercise for today. So we will be, what we want from you is to sit in a calm place and write down all the obstacles that are really holding you back from your achieving your goal. And I want from you to burn that in a safe place, because I want you to drop down, drain all the paradigms that you have, the bad paradigms, because we want to rebuild that. And just write are the three things and that you did in the last 8 months and 24, the great things that you did. And think about your behavior, what you are doing, your belief system, and just be honest with yourself. You're doing this for yourself, not for me. So from that point, everything we should come from, everything action you should come from your goal, from your future self, not from your current results. Don't be connected for it. Just observe the current results, but don't be connected to the come from your future self. And be aware of the process, what you are doing, and ask yourself. And the last thing is accept and reject the ideas. Any idea that is aligned with your goal, just accept it. Anything that is not aligned, reject it on the spot. It's all about the way of thinking. Write your paradigms, your belief systems, your habits, and just start eliminating anything that's not getting or getting you away from your goal. Eliminate. Quantum leaps happens in elimination list. Just start eliminating and just installing new habits. So start to decompose and then installing, and then you'll be on automation system. Whatever your paradigms, you can do lots, you're infinite. And tomorrow we'll tell you more how to use the mind and how to activate those mental faculties. And day after tomorrow, we'll be talking about the power of 5. So please don't miss it. And there's lots of value in it. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, everyone who has joined us today.
If there's a question anyone to ask.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have any questions, please reach out in the comments if you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or in the chat if you are inside the Zoom. Or if you have any question after the meeting is finished, please reach out to me, Nina, or to Ahmed via LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you know us from. We're very happy to take your questions, and also do not hesitate to book your free 30 minutes consultant call. So it's a discovery call free of charge. We're here to really stay laser focused on your goal and to help you to the best of our abilities. Thank you, Ali, for your comment. Thank you very much. It was great having you here. So join us tomorrow for day 3. And if you're joining us live today, remember you can join us on Zoom. We would love to have you on Zoom, because if we have your email, we will be able to send you all the training material. We have prepared free training material for you for these 4 amazing days, with workbooks, with questions that will bring you closer to your goal and will keep you laser focused to achieve your results in 2024. This was Nina Robert and Ahmed Assaf. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and we'll see you back tomorrow for day 2. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.